can you hear me? Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little Polka Dot show going. But first of all, let me know, how are you lovely, lovely, sexy looking people doing tonight? Saturday night. No, that's tomorrow, right? Friday night. And it's Polka Dot night. And the markets are doing lovely. Bitcoin is up 8%. It seems to me that we're doing the right thing. It seems to me that our patience has paid off. And, you know, now it's always fun to, you know, make fun of the ones that exactly when we were at the low point told us to stay away. You know, I am referring to the biggest crypto YouTube channel that is around, right? I love Guy. I absolutely love Coin Bureau. But Guy, he should stick to what he's good at. Summarizing summaries. Anyway, it is good to be here. And let me see. Thank you so much. You can hear me. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Shahid, my soul brother. And we got Crypto Granny straight out of Austria with some cookies. Anyway, what is the main thing? Obviously, some news. But today we are adding, probably have heard about them before, of course. But today I want to emphasize on 2 new beautiful dots that we have added in. I mean, we've already Betsy has been holding them for a while, but small positions. So this is 2 new dots, and I really think that they got huge potential. Not financial advice, we all know that. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna look at those dots there, and then we're gonna go over a little bit of news from the Polkadot ecosystem, and then I got in for all of those of you who want to stick around until the end. Today I got a little video of my boys. Anyway, I'm excited. Polkadot streams are always the best. I mean, I remember when we had like a Karura stream and an Akala stream. I was also pretty excited. Those 2 dots, though, are not very sexy looking at the moment. Anyway, but I think they will come. Anyway, let's start. And I think we need to start, and it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps, Polkadot and Kusama update. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, but then please do me a favor. Hit like, smash, and subscribe, and all them goodies, so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of the littlest channel on the interweb. I like to say that. First things first, as always, right? I mean, look at this. Bitcoin is up 9.5%. I mean, I can't even remember that you and I did a stream like this, right? And we got Ethereum up 5%, and then we got DOT up 5%, and then we got Cardano also 5%. So it's just, again, funny, right? Anyway, the level of market manipulation, I mean, we are happy that everything is going up, but we should not forget that this is still... The reason why we're looking at these 4 charts is because I do want to point out that the market is rigged, right? And as long as we understand that and we agree on that, well, then we can move on to more important things, and that is to make money, right? Anyway, let's just quickly look, because I mean, no, I want to see. When I prepare for these streams, then I also don't really, sometimes I miss out on the moves. Look at the... Wow, it's just been going up all day, right? All day. 1.5% in the last year. I mean, every hour is a strong hour. Well, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Anyway, let's see what the overall market is doing, because we've got, again, many things to talk about. Oh, yeah, this is, you know, I stand here and I prepare everything, and then we still have to log in here. Let's see here. So we have 1.1 trillion. That's not so bad, right? Above the 1. And Bitcoin up 9%, Ethereum 5, Cardano 5, Polygon 5, Doge 6, but slightly above 5, Solana 5, Polkadot 5, Shiba Inu 4.6, almost 5, Avalanche 7, not far from 5, right? Uniswap 6, almost 5. You know why I'm pointing that out, right? Because I still have a hard time to believe that all of a sudden, in the last few hours, everybody in the world shows that we should invest, and somehow all these coins, they go up percentage wise the same percentage. It doesn't make sense. It's rigged. But as I said before, as long as we know that, then we can deal with it. But I also want to just... So we got Uniswap 6, Chainlink 7, 6 for Bitcoin Cash, Filecoin 5, VChain 6, 5% Quant, Algorand 5, the Graph 4.9, and then we got Phantom 20%. Out of order, Decentraland 10%, Aave 6, 5 or 4.5 to Theta. Anyway, everything looks good, but I think you get the drift, right? I mean, we are very much at the 5% increase level across the board, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so let's go into the here with Bitcoin. When we are looking at the 7-day moving average on the weekly, I mean, I love it. I love it. And I let me know if you still think that it's just, are we just being lucky that we are following this pattern here of the 7-day moving average on the weekly? And we can see we are really broken through. I mean, I just think that it looks like this is not a turnaround. The turnaround was when we hit the 15, right? And since then, also, if we look at the volume, I don't know why. Here we can see, and here there's no volume. This is something, I always prepare these things. Anyway, the volume has been increasing, and I don't know why we cannot see it here. It's always small tricks on me. But, here it goes. Here we go. I always think that it's a good thing when we're seeing the volume increasing from, let's say, we recognize that the low is in when we are seeing heavy inflow of money, which obviously leads to more volume. So I'm very, very optimistic, and I'm very happy. Let me know what you think. Are we going to go back to 15? Are we going to see 12? Are we going to see, some this at 8? Or is this really the time for us to go all in? Always a little bit unstructured. Anyway, let me know what you think about. You cannot imagine how difficult it is to stand and do all this. Who's here? Vax is here. Crypto Granny, we said hello already. Crypto Stan, good to see you. Money Man, we never sleep. BitBoy, crypto fighting in the crypto space. Well, BitBoy, I gotta say, BitBoy is maybe not the best investor, but he has done fantastic work for the overall crypto industry, and especially for the content providers. But I wouldn't really follow his timing. Not the best in timing. Who else is here? We got Jose, Marcus, Thorham. You're back. Good to see you. And Wall Street Bets. Then it can't go all wrong, right? Anyway, let's start, because those two new dots, you probably... No, you cannot guess it. So let's just move on. And there are many good dots in the Polkadot ecosystem, and we will today also go over some of the main coins or protocols that were launched last year, and let's look, because overall some of them are really doing or creating fantastic partnerships, and some of them are not really. These two dots that you've already heard about, you know them, but perhaps not really paid attention to them, are really working with serious enterprises from the traditional world. The first one is, I can never say that name, Origin Trail. Now, I've been talking a lot about Origin Trail in the past. In fact, when we got in, or when we bought Origin Trail the first time, which was on the 29th of August in 2021, we got in at 31 cents on the dollar. And I've just, for Betty, I've been holding them. There was one thing that always irritated me, was that you could not stake them. So it was, basically just, I would say, bad timing. But since 2021, I've been a big believer in them, and they've just launched version 6, and staking should come very, very soon. However, so we bought them at 31 cents on the dollar, and today, at least a few hours ago, you could get them at 37 cents on the dollar, which is very close to basically where we got them, right? And we've been sitting on them for 2 years. So just remember, everything I say and do here is not financial advice, right? We can see here it had an all-time high of almost $3, but that's not what is so important. What I wanted to point out was I bought first the track token when it was just an ERC token, and I was not aware at the time that they would actually also be a part of the Polkadot ecosystem. So Origin Trail is now very much a beautiful dot. And when we look, I have a point. You can see that it is currently, I mean, it's down 89% from its all-time high. I mean, it's not these 90, 95, and 98%, but the most beautiful thing about Origin Trail is their client list or the partners that they have. They are already working with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I mean, it's really hard to believe, right? They're working with pharmaceutical supply chains, enterprise data, interoperability, global trade, and some of the brands you will know. I mean, there's so many of them in every country. Like, what are they saying here? I think it's like 1.5 trillion worth of US trade is basically somehow related to the Origin Trail. I feel like I'm getting nervous here, to their platform. And the other, and here we can see that, 1 second, guys. Here we are. I need to find this because this was in the Polkadot update. And this is where they are talking about Origin Trail. And they're saying that already over 40% of US imports are enabled with the technology of the track technology in order to secure exchange of security audits, with companies using the platforms accounting for more than 1.5 trillion in purchasing power. So this is just probably the most beautiful dot currently. The second dot that I think we should focus on is Kilt. And we actually participated in the Parachain auction, but I've not been speaking very much about it, kind of like forgetting it a little bit. And as we participated in the auction, then of course we got some rewards. I mean, they were so small that it was not really worth mentioning. So today we decided to increase our position and really build up a good position. And what is nice is that Kilt is trading 95% below its all-time high. Now, in case you don't really know Kilt, and it also does have a competitor, you could say, within the Polkadot ecosystem. Now, the Web 3.0 is obviously being built, and I believe that the Polkadot ecosystem is basically the Web 3.0, as it's also going to be interoperable with Ethereum. So Polkadot, they have in the past month, they have launched a series of, reviews from the last year. And part 2, I already did a video on part 1, but that was the DeFi coins. Now I will try to go through this pretty quickly, because as sexy as Polkadot is, it is a little bit complicated, both when you have to deal with buying and staking and understanding the underlying technology, it is complicated. But so yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as understandable as possible. So they've segregated all their ecosystem into 4 parts. And the first part was the DeFi tokens. Part 2, system chains, smart contracts, and social media. Now, of course, some of these protocols, they have an overlap, yeah? Statement, I don't know if you, statement, we're not going to talk about because this was basically, what do they call it? It's for the greater good of the overall ecosystem. But Akala, yeah, there's a DeFi. Moonbeam is super, is great. Star. Even if you want to go through it all yourself, they always summarize who they're working with. And it's kind of like, it gives a good indication if this protocol is going to have good potential or not. Right? Akala is backed by the fact by Compound and Aave, but they haven't really, I'm a little bit skeptical about them, but they're keeping to themselves. They're not answering anything, and they're not really being very proactive. In fact, their apps, they're not, no good staking opportunities anymore. And yeah, it's like they're a little bit disappeared. Anyway, Moonbeam is still good. It's a strong one. And you can see that here. 300 plus projects, integrations and collaborations already building in the Moonbeam ecosystem. Highlighted by Electric Capital as one of the fastest growing blockchain ecosystems with a 27% growth in full-time developers. Now the absolute star, or the second star behind Origin Trail, is a star. I mean, it's amazing. Just look here down here. So Astar has emerged as a leading force in the Japanese Web3 space, named Product of the Year in 2022 by the Japan Blockchain Association, and with Astar's founder gracing the cover of Forbes Japan after being named Person of the Year. The network has already had 50 plus dApps created on its platform and has announced collaborations with Toyota, NTT Docomo, which is the largest telecommunications company in Japan. That's what they say here. So we can see that some of these dots are already, shining, looking good. Whereas, for example, Fala, so just when we summarize, these little things here in the end, Fala also launched Fala World in 2022. Well, that sounds good, but what is Fala World, right? It's a digital experience showing a user's progression on the Fala network based on soul-bound NFTs. Over the past year since launch, Fala has gone from several hundred off-chain computation workers to nearly 20,000 running over 140,000 virtual CPUs. So of course, in these summaries, they're trying to make every dot look beautiful. But in the end of the day, it's actually only the dots that have been able to get strong partnerships with enterprises or governments from the traditional world, right? Old school world. The Winya, also not really doing anything with any big companies. I just want to move down on here. And we can see Adventus, all they achieved in 2022 was to be carbon neutral. I mean, they're going green. I mean, that's also good, right? Very, very good. But maybe not what we're looking for. Then we move on here. Then we go. So this was part 2. This is part 3, where we're moving on to data, ID, privacy, storage, and infrastructure. These are the themes that I've been speaking a little bit about. And as I said, some of these coins, they overlap. So Fala is also there. Here we got Origin Trail. And we read already that they're 40% of US imports. Davinia is in both categories, but I wanted to move on to, here we got Kylin, for example, right? Also one of my favorite dots. Now Kylin is not really working, hasn't any really prominent partners, but what they have is that they have initiated several partnerships across the Polkadot ecosystem and beyond, including with parachains like Astar, Centrifuge, Bifrost, and Equilibrium. So I really think that Astar, well, we just spoke about that. I think Centrifuge is going to be also one of the most beautiful dots, tokenizing real world assets onto the blockchain. And they will all need oracles. And if they're going to work with Kylin, that's already good for Kylin, right? Trust Network, we are invested in them, and it seems like they're doing good, but also not, they haven't closed a deal like Arweave has with what's it called, with Facebook's that other app, Instagram. So Crust, let's see. I'm trying to point this out because obviously there's more potential if we can identify a little coin like Kylin or Crust, right? They don't have a market cap like Arweave, but they also don't have the partnerships. So there's more potential, but it can also be that they will never be the market leaders of tomorrow. Then also Litentry, and this is where I want to compare Litentry with Kilt. The Litentry is also a coin that we invested in, and I've been very happy about Litentry. It is a decentralized identity platform, right? And so is Kilt. So when we go down to the summary here, we can see that Litentry, has begun implementation of privacy services powered by trusted execution environment sidechain with support from Integrity. That also sounds good, right? And maybe it's a lovely thing, but they are creating Litentry. But Kilt, in 2022, Kilt launched several impactful partnerships, including with Germany's Ministry of Energy. Germany's Ministry of Energy. I mean, I don't think we need to keep reading. Anyway, to provide vital services demonstrating how blockchain can be used in a highly regulated industry. So these Kilt and Litentry, as far as I understand, are providing, the same thing, right? Decentralized identity on the blockchain. So go in and look at, for example, Kilt has a market cap of 21 million. What about Litentry? See what Litentry has. 47 million market cap. Can't really believe that Kilt only has 21 million. Anyway, so these are little things that that I came across and I wanted to share with you guys today. And this is also research that you very much can do yourself. So I also think that maybe I've been speaking, I don't know, because ultimately it is very difficult to identify the true market. Who's going to be the Google of tomorrow, right? And that's why we have to spread it across the dots. But I think Kilt looks like it has more potential. Let me know what you think, and that was that. Guys, I need to go because I'm really not feeling so well, and I think you can feel it. I'm a little bit off. I haven't been sleeping good since I came back, and So even though I prepare for these streams and so on, but little sleep and a lot of other things going on, there's just some good days and some bad days. But it's always a good day when you guys are here. Let me see if I can take any questions because I feel a little confused here. Yeah, real world assets, Charles says. CFG and blockchain bullies there. That's good to see. I've been buying Polkadot recently. Next, Ethereum. It's good to diversify, but I think both Polkadot and Ethereum, I mean, you can't go wrong with them. And that's where it's becoming, and that's what I also wanted to do with this stream today, is our job now and beyond is really to identify the true market leaders of tomorrow, because there's so much competition, right? Especially we're already seeing that the DeFi platforms, I mean, 70-80% of the current DeFi platforms are not going to stick around or be around in a year or two, right? And that's also why I feel it's better not to pay too much attention yet to the shit coins. You see, it's cycles within the bull cycle, right? And we will. I mean, if you've been following this channel since we launched, right? First, we were very much focused on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blue chips. And then towards the end of the recent bull cycle, then we started to enter into IGOs and gaming and did more nonsense, right? Because that's how it's basically going to move. That's what all cycles are. Trust should have synergy inside the Polkadot ecosystem. I mean, I'm a big believer in Crust, yeah, I mean, so far, and lots of potential, and but then again, right, there are a lot of decentralized storage providers out there, but I mean, Crust's market cap is so little. I had a little problems today. I was downloading the wallet and I was trying to stake, and you cannot stake Crust Shadow. You can only stake Crust Network. I mean, that took me like 5 hours to figure that out. So I'm so tired. Anyway, guys, I hope it was okay today. You know, I need to get some sleep, but I love you. You know that. And today I'm gonna leave you with a 2-minute video of my boys. So